Ladies and gentlemen, how is it going? Now you may be looking at your screen right now and saying, wait a minute, this isn't MLB The Show. And to you I would say, congratulations, you are very observant. That is right, this is not MLB The Show. In fact, this is Microsoft's brand new flight simulator that was just released a short while ago. Now you may be wondering, why the hell are we playing Flight Simulator? Well, for a couple of different reasons. One, I wanted to freshen it up. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of playing MLB The Show, and I wanted to do something different. Number two, our name is, in fact, Lunar Squadron, and Squadron usually refers to things that fly, and this is a game about flying, so it kind of fits the name a little bit. And number three, I just kind of love Flight Simulator. I've put like 50 hours into this game already. I just kind of love it. Now, I thought it would be fun for us to go ahead and attack some of these landing challenges. I think this is a really cool and unique feature that they decided to add to the game, and I think this would be something really fun to try and see how good of a pilot I actually am, because I'm probably a lot worse than I think I am, but who knows, maybe I'll excel at these landing challenges. Now, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, we'd love to have you go down just below this video, hit the little subscribe button, the bell notification right next to it. Notifies you every single time Andreas and I upload. Now let's go ahead and get into the landing challenges. We're going to start with the first one, which happens to be in my home state of Aspen, Colorado. I have heard that this is in fact a pretty hard airport to land at. Flying is something that I am very familiar with, so I have heard the stories about flying into Aspen, Colorado, and let's see if we are up to the task to land at Aspen, Colorado. Now, as you can see, I got my little joystick here, so we're all set up, ready to go, and let's just see if we can not crash an airplane. So I've decided to go with the third-person view, looking from behind the plane. I enjoy this view. I think it's cool. You get to see more of the landscape and more of the surrounding areas, and I don't know, I just like this view, so that's what we went with. Probably makes it harder just because you can't really see all the instruments at all times, but we got our altimeter, we got our engines, our airspeed, our altitude, flaps, so we should have everything we need to hopefully make a successful landing in Aspen. Now, we are coming in a little hot right now, so might want to drop the flaps a little bit, reduce the airspeed. I see the runway right up there. It's going to be a pretty quick descent once we get on track. We're basically going to have to come in and around and just kind of go for it. Yeah, like, we're going to have to avoid those wires right there. I can kind of see them with the lights. Really maintain our airspeed. Looks like we might have to just dip below these lights right here. And kind of just bring it in nice and low. Keep an eye on our airspeed. Don't want to stall the damn thing. Alright, we're coming in a little hot right now. But I like where we're... Oh, no. I almost put the landing gear up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and reduce the engine. We are on track. Come on. Set this down. Oh. Alright, we bounced it a little bit, but I think that was a pretty good landing. We were a little early, bounced it a little bit, got a stall warning, but you know what? Nobody died. All of the passengers have made it to Aspen safe. That is a success to me. Alright, let's go ahead and see how we did. We got 331,000 points. Looks like our landing precision was not... It was alright. Ground roll. Not great. Neither was the landing smoothness. You can kind of tell since I bounced the damn airplane off the ground, but we got the plane on the ground successfully and safely, and nobody died, so I will consider that a success. Alright, let's try another one. Alright, so I went ahead and picked the Paro landing for this one, mainly because we get to use the Airbus A320, which happens to be my favorite plane to use in this game. I just like using the bigger airplanes rather than the smaller prop planes. I don't know what to expect or what the challenge. This seems like a pretty straightforward landing attempt. Maybe that hill right in front of it, and maybe the runway does seem a little small. There isn't a lot of room for error there. So, yeah, it is pretty small. It's only 7,400 feet, so we're going to have to just get this damn plane on the ground as fast as possible and hope to God we don't roll off. Anyway, let's give this one a shot. Alright, so I think the main challenge going into this one is going to be getting the airplane up and over that mountain, because I'm pretty sure the runway is right on the other side of it, so it's going to be a pretty quick descent into the runway. I'm not quite sure how to approach this, but we're going to give it our best shot. Alright, so we are coming in a little hot, 160 knots. The game said we should be around 140 knots as we get close into our final approach. I have a feeling I kind of want to hug this mountain and just kind of sneak my way over it. But I'm not sure. I'm not exactly confident coming into this one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing the engines back and just hope we don't crash into the side of the mountain. That's my biggest concern right now. And bleeding speed. I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to bleed velocity off, because there's the runway right on the other side of this. So this is a quick descent. Coming in a little hot, but we are on target, I think. Oh. Oh, that was a little hard. A little hard. We bounced the plane again. But we did get it down on the ground. Not a smooth landing by any metric, but it was a successful landing, and we didn't kill anybody. Alright, so we only got 2,000 points for this one. We got exactly 1 point for our landing smoothness because we landed with 1,500 FPM. Wow. So, a little whiplash for our passengers in the back, but you know what? They survived most likely. I'm pretty sure we got everybody on the ground safely. Whoever is able in real life to make this landing consistently, like the captains and FOs that are able to make this landing, like, props to you, because whoever decided to build an airport where the runway is right on the other side of a damn mountain and you basically have to just swoop in with a big plane like an A320, what the hell were you thinking? That is a terrible design. Alright, let's go ahead and try one more of these landing challenges. We're going to go ahead and attempt the Saba one, because that looks like the most difficult one. You basically have no runway, it's super small, and you're surrounded by water on basically all sides and massive cliffs, so zero room for error. I'm gonna have to get this one pretty much perfect to have a chance to land the aircraft on the runway. So for this one, we're gonna make our approach coming over the ocean. We're making it into basically a small island, and I'm not confident in my ability in this one, because there is zero room for error, and the way that I have been landing so far today does not make me feel very good about my chances. Alright, so I've gone ahead, dropped the landing gear, put the flaps down to 40 degrees just to get the plane slowed down a little bit, because we basically have to get this thing down on the runway as slow as possible. That doesn't mean stalling the aircraft, because we have maybe a couple hundred feet of rollout space before we basically go off a cliff and into the ocean. And to complicate matters, we're dealing with some weather coming in that is going to cloud our vision, which is exactly what we need in this situation. That's just fantastic. That's great. Hopefully this clears up as we get a little lower, but because I don't want to be flying into this blind. Alright, so I can see the runway right up there. We're still a little high. Speed is probably a little higher than we want it to be. I'm going to come out wide a little bit and just give myself a little more room to get lower and bleed off some more speed and just line up the runway, to be honest. Alright, so we're looking alright. We're a little fast. That is my biggest concern right now, is just our overall airspeed coming into this runway. Because you can see it right there on the screen. This is a massively small runway that I don't understand why anybody designed it like this. Alright, we're on track. We're a little high. Airspeed seems okay. I'm ready to hit the reverse thrust. I'm just going to bring it down. Oh boy, we bounced that big time. Come on, stop, 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 stop. Alright. We didn't go off the cliff. Really got to work on that landing smoothness, but I honestly don't know what else to do when you're only given a couple hundred feet. Like, yes, we only scored 12 points when it comes to landing smoothness, but like, you got to get the plane down on the ground, and I feel like I had the speed, airspeed, pretty slow. So I'm not quite, you know, I'm not a pilot, so obviously I'm just messing with like the flaps and the throttles and the landing gear and managing my airspeed that way. So I'm sure there is a lot more to it that I'm not aware of, but at least we didn't roll off into the ocean. Alright, so I'm not exactly thrilled with my performance when it comes to landing the A320, so I'm going to go ahead and try this Rio de Janeiro approach. Just give myself one more shot with the 320, and maybe this one will be a little smoother, because frankly, I'm disappointed in myself in my performance so far. I have bounced the damn plane all 3 of the landings, so hopefully a more conventional, straightforward approach that doesn't involve 300-foot runways and trying to get it up and over a mountain and under power lines and onto basically into a valley. Hopefully a normal landing, I can prove myself a little more, but who knows? Let's just get into it. All right, so I'm gonna make one more attempt with the A320 coming into Rio de Janeiro. This is a pretty straightforward landing, pretty straightforward approach. So hopefully we can nail this one, because I am frankly embarrassed with my performance up to this point. All right, so I can see the runway right up there, so we're gonna have to make a little adjustment to our heading. But it's nothing too drastic. It's pretty much right there. This is, like I said, this is a very straightforward approach. So this shouldn't be too difficult. Hopefully this is just a nice, smooth, safe landing for everybody. Now, I am still trying to figure out the controls for this game. Obviously, I am not a pilot, so I don't understand every instrument and every button and whatnot in an airplane, but you know, I do have some experience. Family is super involved in the airlines. It's definitely a family industry, and I have taken some form of ground school in my life, so I know a little bit of what I'm doing, but obviously I'm not an airline pilot or a pilot in general, so I can only do so much. Now, we do seem to be on track to make this landing. I'm a little worried about our height and our airspeed. The airspeed's a little high. I'll just go ahead and drop the flaps to 35 degrees, and that should slow us down a considerable amount. I'm going to bring the throttle back. Now,
400, 300, 200, 100, 60, 50,
Now that seemed like a much better landing. Little early on the runway. Would have liked to have glided a little bit more over the runway, but you know what? We were on center, and we didn't really bounce the plane. It was a little hard, but that was considerably better than the other 3 landings. And obviously, that is shown by our score, which is almost double what our first landing was when it comes to score. All right, so let's go ahead and check the stats. We went ahead and got 608,000, which puts us in the top 20,000 in the world, so that's pretty cool. Landing precision was all right. The ground roll had 34 feet of ground roll, so that's not too bad. Our landing smoothness, it was all right. It was pretty good. We got 134 there, 446 FPM. Like, obviously that's not a greased landing, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than bouncing the airplane off the runway like we did with those first 3 landings. So I am very happy with this one. Obviously, I would have liked to have had just a perfect, nice landing, come in, grease it, make it look like I'm a pro at this game, but I am certainly not that. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this one. I know this one was a little different, not MLB The Show, not NHL, not FIFA, but I just wanted to, you know, try something a little different, bring a little different flavor to the channel. This was actually Andreas's idea. I wanted to do something else, but he was all over me about putting some flight simulator stuff onto the channel, so I went ahead and embarrassed myself on the internet, as a good YouTuber does, because clearly I am not a professional when it comes to this game. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this one, go ahead, leave a like, go out below this video, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, notifies you every single time we upload, and let us know, do you want to see more unique games like this, more unique stuff on the channel, or is this kind of a no-go and we'll just stick to what we usually do? We are planning some cool stuff when it comes to games like Call of Duty. Andres and I have had a couple ideas that we've been kind of sitting on for a couple months that we really want to go over and get out there, because we think there's some really neat ideas that you guys would enjoy and we would enjoy making. Just kind of keep things fresh. But you know what? That doesn't mean the MLB videos are going to stop. We will have a monthly awards, which come out Friday afternoon, and there are still a lot of debuts to go around that I'm just trying to get caught up on. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. That was me embarrassing the hell out of myself in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.